What's going on, everyone? We are back with another Instagram video, simulation, whatever you want to call it. So today, I saw this post by Swished. I'll link his Instagram, and I'll link the post in the description. But it's the NBA three-word game, and it's basically 3 words describing what each team should do, whether it is to compete in the future or compete, next year, whatever, basically to move forward with where the teams are at. So I'm going to start off with the 76ers, and so their 3 words was Ben shoot it. So what I did was I upped Ben Simmons' 3-point attributes and 3-point tendencies, same with mid-range too, and so now he's just going to be a good offensive player, like all around good now, not just like a playmaker or being able to drive. For the Bucks, it was Giannis's MVP. So nothing was done. They're in a great position to do good this year. For the Bulls, it was fire Jim Boylan. So there's nothing to do. For the staff, I do need to make that change actually. Michael Stauffer is now the coach. So that's cool. Bulls, I'm sorry, you kind of got screwed in this video. For the Cavs, it was drafted forward. So you guys got Obi Toppin. Power forward, small forward out of Dayton. Let's go Flyers. So yeah, really solid. #1 power forward in the draft. You got guys like Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, a few other players, but then you got Obi Toppin up there. For the Celtics, it is a few more years. So wait a few more years, let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown develop. So what I did was I basically upped everybody's overall a couple as if they were to progress. And it is a little unrealistic how everybody goes up. But because obviously Daniel Tice might not go up, Marcus Smart and his Cantor, guys like that. But it's just what had to be done because it was taking a long time. So I just had to do it all at once. But the team overall is really solid. They probably had one of the most solid improvements just because everybody's overalls went up a bunch. Not a bunch, but a few. For the Clippers, theirs was the NBA champions. So they got nothing. They are what they are. For the Grizzlies, they got build around Ja. And to build around Ja, you need defense and 3-point shooting. You need guys that are going to space the floor, and you need guys that are going to defend. Morant isn't a bad defender, I don't think, but he's not like an exceptional defender. So outside of Buddy Hield, I upped Jaren Jackson Jr. I upped his 3-point and his defense. I upped Brandon Clark's 3-point defense to where they develop in a few years. And then I also got them Buddy Hield, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. For the Hawks, theirs is learn to win. I gave them the winningest player in the history of basketball, Manu Ginobili. He was on those Spurs teams that were just absolutely ridiculous for so long. Him, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan were amazing together. So Hawks team is looking really nice. Help Trae Young out a lot. For the Heat, theirs was trade for Beal. So very self-explanatory. They now have Bradley Beal in the starting lineup. Really nice. For the Hornets, theirs was just keep tanking. So what I did was I gave them Anthony Edwards as if they were to get the first pick this year, and Cade Cunningham, which is 2021, I believe. Great future. This video, they're not going to be great in, but if I were to do like a 5-year simulation or something, this team would be really nice with the young talent that they have in those 2 guys, and Miles Bridges, PJ Washington, and Devontae Graham even, and Terry Rozier, I guess you can consider. He's only 25. For the Jazz, theirs was get a point guard, and they got one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard this year, in Damian Lillard. You'll see why I gave them Damian Lillard later. But yeah, this is a very good team. Helps a lot offensively. Damian Lillard. For the Kings, theirs was make the playoffs. And so I just looked up which players have played the most amount of playoff games. And Derek Fisher was #1. Didn't think he was going to help out that much. So I gave them the the player with the second most playoff games played in Tim Duncan, and he's going to help out a ton. One of the, if not the best power forward of all time. For the Knicks, theirs was sell the team. So literally nothing has changed about the Knicks. You can't change owner in 2K, so it is what it is. For the Lakers, theirs was make AD happy. So, I had to throw him a quick bag, $32.7 million extension for the next I don't even know how long. I think it was 6 years now he signed to them. For the Magic, theirs was end the mediocrity. That's what the Pistons did very recently. But we got rid of Vucevic, brought in Blake Griffin, a guy who can really just mentor these younger guys. Being 30 years old, he's has ups and downs. I think he has a very similar play style to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon just like a worse version of him, basically. Yeah, so I think he'll be able to mentor Aaron Gordon pretty well. Jonathan Isaac, Mo Bamba, all these young guys, and in the future, possibly have a solid team. I mean, they do have a good young talent. For the Mavericks, theirs was maybe next year. So similar to the Celtics, I just developed them all a year. And so overall, just every player is about 1-2 overalls better now. For the Nets, theirs was wait for KD. So they just have a healthy Kevin Durant. For the Nuggets, theirs was get a score. So I gave the Nuggets one of the best scorers in Devin Booker. Offense is going to be really nice. Defense, not so much. For the Pacers, theirs was blow it up. So we got rid of Malcolm Brogdon and Victor Oladipo. Malcolm Brogdon probably could have stayed because he's only like 26, but I kept Sabonis because he's super young. TJ Warren again is 26, so. But then this is as if they were to get a top draft pick due to them blowing it up and they get LaMelo Ball. So again, they're set up for the future. Great offensive team, not great defensive team. For the Pelicans, theirs was y'all got Zion. Y'all got Zion, so again, in a few years, this team would be amazing. Not much to do. They're set up super, super well for the future. Drew Holiday, maybe not part of that future due to him being 29. But he can definitely help mentor a guy like Lonzo Ball. Yeah. Maybe Brandon Ingram. But yeah, just a super young team. And in a few years, they're going to be championship contenders. As long as Zion, stays healthy and everything. For the Pistons, theirs was trade away Blake Griffin. So we ended up trading him to the Suns, and then you saw him on the Magic because we made another trade. Due to everything, but Pistons now have Kelly Oubre. They have a good young team. Luke Kennard, Kelly Oubre, Christian Wood, Bruce Brown, Svi, Sekou, who I don't know why doesn't start. But yeah, not a great team. But D Rose can definitely mentor these younger guys. And maybe in like 4 or 5 years, we'll be good again. For the Raptors, theirs was what was theirs? Back-to-back, yeah. And a big reason they won the finals last year was not only due to Kawhi. Yes, he was the main reason, but also Fred VanVleet really stepped up. I believe he had a son. Did he have a son or a daughter last year in the playoffs or before the playoffs or something? And once he had a kid, he just started going off, playing absolutely ridiculously. I remember the announcers talking about this like every night. But so they have playoff Fred VanVleet, 87 overall. And I am going to move Kyle Lowry up there now, so you guys have a fantastic backcourt. For the Rockets, theirs was stop the ISOs. And honestly, I don't agree with that because Westbrook and James Harden's play style is very good for ISO play. But anyway, what I did was I gave him the player with the lowest ISO percentage in the entire NBA, and that was Domantas Sabonis. So solid addition, not great, but definitely he's an all-star caliber player. For the Spurs, theirs was fire Popovich. Goodbye Popovich, so got to do that really quickly. I'm really sorry. It pains me to do that. It really pains me to do that. I didn't understand that at all, but who knows? So lineup stays the same, nothing different. Greg Popovich is just out. For the Suns, theirs was Book needs help, which is 100% facts. This team was absolutely trash. So they got Malcolm Brogdon, VO, and then they also got Vucevic in the whole Magic, Pistons, Suns trade. So definitely a really solid team. Do I see them maybe like an 8th seed, but I don't see them competing really this year yet. But definitely in a year or two, this team would look really nice. I mean, you have good defense now, good offense. I mean, well-balanced team there. For the Thunder, theirs was keep Chris Paul. Totally agree with this. They have a lot of young talent who who can definitely really do well with Chris Paul mentoring them. I mean, the fact that they're making the playoffs, I mean, Chris Paul has done a fantastic job. But so I gave him a bag. Huge extension. He's staying in OKC for the rest of his career. But also I upped everybody a little bit, progressed them just like the Celtics and just like whatever other team I did that for. I forget. Yeah, I forget right now, but I just upped all their attributes. Oh, the Mavericks. That's who I did. And so this is definitely a team that would compete in, like a year or two. The fact that they're making the playoffs this year is crazy, considering they had like the lowest chance or a very low chance to make the playoffs. Then you got the Timberwolves, which was give Cat help. Totally agree with that. This team was terrible outside of Towns and D'Angelo Russell. So we gave them good defense in Victor Oladipo and Jonathan Isaac, because D'Lo and Cat are not the best defenders. Cat a little bit better than D'Lo, but D'Lo is terrible. So you got a great perimeter defender, and you got a great all-around defender in Jonathan Isaac. So that's going to help out a lot for the Trailblazers. Theirs was Dame for picks. And you saw me trade him to the Jazz, which obviously isn't necessarily realistic, because Damian Lillard is was probably the best point guard in the league this year. Yeah, this year. And has been consistently top 3 point guard for the past, I don't even know how long now, but it's been a while that we've been talking about Damian Lillard being one of the best point guards in the league. So he's obviously going to go for a big price. And so we did give him to the Jazz. A little unrealistic. But now the Trailblazers need to rework their rotation real fast. But yeah, we have LaMelo Ball, and then we have Cade Cunningham. Solid team. Not competing this year. But could definitely compete in the future. Definitely could compete in the future. They'd probably get rid of a couple more players, though. If they were to get rid of Dame, I could see them blowing it all up, or obviously trade him to the team for a more solid player than Mike Conley. I know he was fantastic last year, but he's definitely fallen off a little bit this year. For the Warriors, theirs was just wait for Clay. So nothing changed. And the Wizards, make sure the defense is all good. Or the rotation. Theirs was play some defense. So I just upped everybody's defensive ratings. Not a ton, but everybody's like a solid defender now. Defensive consistency is really good, so I can see this team doing really well. So there you guys go. That is everybody's lineups, all the changes I made to them, and I will be back at the end of the season after I simulate. All right, so Giannis is your MVP. Anthony Edwards, Rookie of the Year. Dennis Schroeder, 6th Man of the Year. Absolutely fantastic for OKC. Kawhi, Depoy, and Fred VanVleet, Most Improved. And Brad Stevens as Coach of the Year for the Boston Celtics. 64-18 is crazy. All-NBA First Team. Well, Ben Simmons, bro. Bro, where's Ben Simmons? Oh my gosh. I mean, he's on the all-defensive team. I'm mad surprised he wasn't there. Almost 21 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Wow. 407 threes attempted, and he almost shot 50%, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's what all the awards are looking like. We got OKC as the first seed. That's insane. I didn't think they were going to take that big of a jump. We got Sacramento as the 8th seed, Clippers, Utah, Lakers, Dallas, and then New Orleans and Denver. Boston first seed against Atlanta. Nice. Definitely saw them as a 7th, 8th seed. Toronto, Brooklyn. Yeah. Washington. They took a massive step with all that defense that they had. Miami, 6th seed. I'm a little surprised that they actually weren't better than Brooklyn or Toronto. I thought Bradley Beal would have helped them a lot. I mean, they're already like a 4th, 5th seed caliber team. So maybe 2K just doesn't like the Heat. And then we got the Bucks and Philadelphia. A little surprised there too that Philly is that low. League standings. Boston was just ahead of everybody. So there wasn't like a big everybody was fairly close in the standings in the West. Like the top 5 seeds literally could have changed around within a week. Another week of basketball, and this could be completely different. Wow. But Lakers, Clippers still there, and then Thunder and Pelicans. Nice. I love that. we're getting a sim that's like everything's way different than what it usually is, which is really cool. Nothing too shocking there. I'm surprised the Cavs are actually as good as they are, because their only improvement was Obi Toppin. So there you go, guys. Go Cavs. You guys would be way better if you draft them. Pistons not as bad as I thought. Got rid of Blake and added Kelly Oubre, so I definitely thought they would have been worse actually. Especially since I put Sekou in the starting lineup too. Very surprised there. But Knicks, yeah, trash. Orlando, trash. And Chicago, trash. Those were the three teams that didn't really get any, didn't get anything out of this, because it was their roster that changed. Same with the Spurs. So all four of the teams where their roster didn't change at all were the worst teams in the league. Let's see what league leaders are like. We got Kyrie Irving as your points leader at 29. Then you got Curry, Lillard, Bradley Beal on Washington, the good defender version of Bradley Beal, LeBron James, James Harden, Devin Booker on the Nuggets, Bradley Beal on the Heat, Joel Embiid, and then DeMar DeRozan on the Spurs. That's what top 10 was looking like. Rebounds per game, Andre Drummond, Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, Adebayo, Steven Adams, Joel Embiid, Son, Clint, Nikola Jokic, and Giannis. So nothing really changed dramatically there. And then assists, we got Lonzo Ball, Luka, and then LaMelo Ball, Chris Paul, LaMelo Ball again. Wow, fantastic playmaker. LeBron James, Rondo, Jokic, Wall, and Russell. So that's what all those stats were looking like. Favorite to win right now. I mean, I really think that Boston team, I mean, all their players literally got better, about 2-3 overalls. I'm rooting for Washington. Washington and Atlanta, obviously, and then OKC and New Orleans. I just want different teams to win. That's really what I want. So let's simulate the first round, see what happens. Brooklyn Nets, Hawks are gone, 76ers, Lakers, Nuggets, Kings, Heat was at Jazz. So we got OKC. We still got New Orleans. I'm kind of happy Lakers got bounced in the first round. Hawks got 4-0. That's sad. Washington went to 7. Milwaukee beat Philly in 5. So let's see what this is about. We still got Washington. We still got OKC. Let's simulate around and see what happens. Oh my gosh. Washington gets bounced in 6. Boston got eliminated by Toronto. Clippers destroyed OKC. You close out game, Chris Paul 21-17, but Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Montrezl, Lou Will, Marcus Morris, everything was too much. Sad. So we're rooting for New Orleans right now. We're rooting for them because that's the only team that doesn't usually make it this far. So New Orleans and Toronto are the two teams that I want to win. Pelicans had a 2-0 lead, bro. They had a 2-0 lead. I don't know what Toronto was, but very sad. Closeout game here. Kyle Lowry, Chris Middleton. Oh my gosh. I'm upset. Closeout game here. Oh, it was a 2. Bro, the Pelicans were killing them until the 4th quarter. Wow. Pelicans couldn't hold on to the lead. Zion did absolutely amazing. Brandon Ingram did good. Lonzo did good. 19 assists. 19 assists. You guys just had to play a little bit defense and not let him score 47. Kawhi Leonard was too much. Wow. All right, we got Bucks and Clippers. Nothing really matters here. This is what always happens. You got the Bucks winning the finals. Giannis is your finals MVP. Dang it. That's kind of disappointing, but that's what would have happened if with this NBA 3-word game. I think this was really interesting. I'll definitely keep looking for these kind of posts because I had a lot of fun with this and, you know, seeing different teams actually make the finals. But I definitely have a few ideas already on how to do for a couple more of these videos. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and peace.